Welcome, welcome, welcome to Secure the Bag. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy in the building. What's good, fam?
Oh man, everything's going good, yeah, but I just want to let everybody know you do not need to adjust your TV screens. This is not, the coloring effect or anything like that that YouTube is putting on me. I am unfortunately wearing something I would never normally wear. Um, but shout out to Bobby. A bet is a bet, so I'm just paying that back. And also shout out to my cousin Craig Christian. He, what I'm saying, he bet me one of these type of bets a long time ago that I never paid out. So that's what it is today. We're gonna hurry up and get this done before my skin starts to itch. Um, but I do want to welcome Strizzy to the show. Strizzy's in transit. He's about to get to his camera. But Strizzy, how you feeling? Oh, Strizzy's about to switch it out. Okay, that's what's up. So you know how we do. It's secure the bag. And like I said, Strizzy is just kind of like walking in and getting ready, getting things together. So here we are. Bobby's already in the building. He says, "My dog, much respect." So you know what it is, Bobby. You know how we do. We man up to the things that we say we're gonna do. So you know what it is. But Strizzy's back with us. So Strizzy, how you feeling? I was just asking you real quick. You everything okay? You doing good?
Yeah, man, I'm
Like
doing
you
good.
feeling good?
Actually, a lot better now. You know what I'm saying? Just what's up?
Gotcha. Oh no, I was just checking in and everything. Your week's going all right.
Yeah, man. So far, so good. I'm like literally entering my apartment now. So I was running a little bit behind schedule. I had to take care of some things real quick, but everything is straight and looking
All right, that's what it is. That's what it
good.
is. So we'll catch you in a second, but you know how we do. We're gonna go ahead and get into our little tips and tricks and our little things. Like we always say, first and foremost, this is not actual betting advice. This is not actual betting advice. But while Strizzy kind of gets settled in a second, we're gonna go ahead and talk about some little terms and things. We always use this same example. Washington versus Philadelphia. The line is -3. That means Philadelphia has to win by more than 3. Washington has to lose by less than 3 in order for your wager to win on them. We got the total 42. You're betting on the over or under, whether you're gonna have more than 42 points scored by both teams, and then the money line is how much money you're gonna get based on $100 bet. So, um, this week, we've talked about some different like betting strategies and different things like that, but I do want to just this one we're just throwing out some different terms, okay? So the more terms you use, the more you kind of feel like a pro, you know what I'm saying? The more insider lingo we can give you. So first one is chalk. I don't know if anybody's heard of this, but a chalk is basically the favorite team is known as chalk. So in this example, Philadelphia would be chalk. Or if you say, like, if you look at a line of games, like 5 or 6 different games, you may say it's chalk across the board, meaning all of the favorites won in all of these games. Okay, so chalk is a term you hear, not talking about the little stuff you write with, but that's just known as the favorite team. Okay, next up, we have ATS. That is just an acronym for against the spread. So if you're betting Philadelphia -3 or Washington +3, that's against the spread. That's an ATS bet. So you might see that thrown around left and right. ATS, that's what they're referring to. They're referring to against the spread. So, and that's what we do with our locks. We pick 3 games against the spread every single week. That's what we're here to do. But just want to make sure you guys are up on that. Next up, OTB. This stands for off the board. Sometimes a game will have certain odds placed on it, and then something may or may not happen late where sportsbooks actually take this off the board, or it's called an OTB game. One example of this may be a couple weeks ago when the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, they found out that Lamar Jackson was going to be sick and he was not going to play the morning of the game. Right, a lot of sports books they take this and they tag it as OTB. They'll take it off the board until they can figure out what the odds should now be based on that event. So a lot of times if you see something off the board, it's because something very recent happened and they haven't had a chance to adjust the odds. Instead of just taking bad bets, the casino would rather just take the game off the board until they can collect themselves and figure out what should the line be, what should the totals be, and things like that before they bring it back. So that's what OTB means. And then we got one more here, hook. So you guys might hear a hook. That just means it's a half a point on a spread. So you might say, if the spread is 7.5, you might say, oh, they're getting 7 and a hook. These are terms where when I first started getting into sports betting, I was like not familiar with these terms, or I was like having to go look them up. So I figured, why not bring them to, the family and stuff? Why not bring them to you guys, just so that you guys know what's going on? And if you guys encounter these same things, we can just provide a little bit of clarification there. So that's what's up. That's our little things. But of course, like I always say, this is not betting advice. This is not betting advice at all. Strizzy's in that transition where he's just going over to his computer. So I'm just gonna vamp a little bit. I'm gonna hit up the comments though real quick. We got a couple people joining in. We got Grace. Hello, Slack. Hello, Grace. We appreciate you being here with us. Absolutely. I do want to give a quick shout out to Grace. She is Sofa King Bad, and in the Pick'em, and that is her little moniker. And she was actually tied in the tiebreaker this week at the very top. So that's as close as she's come to winning it. So I definitely got to give a big shout out to Grace, aka the Sofa King, for participating each week and almost getting that elusive W. I'm trying for mine as well. And then we got Bobby. He said he tried a round robin this weekend and won pretty good. That's what's up. That's what we like to see. We talked about round robin betting last week on the show, or last time out when we had the show. So that's what's up. Glad to see that kind of come into practicality for you, Bobby. That's what's up. All right, Strizzy, you're with us. Sorry, I know you kind of got settled, so I appreciate that. I meant to kind of throw you in there a little bit quicker, but do you use any of these terms, or you like these terms, or what?
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. I'm familiar with the terms too. I don't really use them a lot. I do use ATS quite a bit because that's usually what I'll bet against, or the money line. Round robins are actually really, really good. We talked about that, like I said, last week. So happy to see Bobby actually win on some of those. I actually won a round robin, I think, like the week after that as well. I hit 6 out of 7 on my parlay. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a nice little way. Like you said, it doesn't give you the full benefits of a straight parlay, but, it sucks when you bet 7-8 teams and one team loses and you out whatever money that's going to be. So, like, the round robins come in handy, man. Use them, get to know these terms, because, like, it's kind of cool, you know what I'm saying? You can get around other sports bettors and use them, you know what I'm saying?
Right. You want to look like you're with the in crowd, with the cool kids, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
So, and yeah, Bobby, he said $50 bet, $190 payout, and he said he took advice from us. So good looking now. Well, we appreciate it, but it's not betting advice, Bobby. It's not betting advice. But no, that's what's up, man. I'm glad you got you secured a bag yourself. That's what it is. That's what it's all about. So, all right. Yeah. Now that being said, let's move forward into our regular programming and get this thing going really. And yes, like we always say, not actual betting advice. Okay. Last week, the turkey ran off with our bags. We took Thanksgiving off. We didn't have our normal Thursday show, so we didn't do our locks last week. So our season totals are still sitting where they were. That's 17 for Strizzy, 14 for myself. And out of 12 or actually, I guess it'd be 11 official weeks, that's not so bad. You know what I'm saying?
Not at
all. But we took a little bit of a turkey break, and now it's time to get back on track and add in on these bags. So Strizzy, you're up first.
Yes, sir.
What you got for us?
Oh, man. So I took some big ones this week, but I think they'll actually get it done. The Colts are looking like a completely different team, man. Jonathan Stewart is running rampant on literally everybody who's come against him, you know what I mean? And I think the Texans, although they've looked a little bit better now that Tyrod's come back, I still think Colts handle this game. I think they really kind of go in. I know it's a division game, but I still think they roll.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. The Texans looked a little bit more humbled last week, you know what I'm saying? And the Colts definitely know what to expect. So I like that. All right, next up.
Yeah, Bengals Chargers. This one was actually really, really tough. For whatever reason, the Chargers have not really played well against the better teams, and they underperform against the bad ones. You know what I mean? So Bengals look really good this upcoming weekend with the Steelers. And, 2 weeks ago, I would have been like, absolutely, the way the Chargers put those points up on them. But last week, the Chargers got back. They had everybody except Joe Hayden. So everybody came back. TJ Watt was back. They had Minka Fitzpatrick back. And they still got the Bengals ran it up. So I'm taking the Bengals. I like the Bengals at home at -3.
Yeah, I like that too. That is a close one to call.
Right.
And yeah, like you were saying, a couple weeks ago, I would not have been with the Bengals just based on how things are going. But you got to roll with the tide. You know what I'm saying? You got to see how things are going. So
exactly. And this game will definitely depend on what Chargers you get. I think, you know what I mean? Like, are they going to come out the way they played against, the Steelers? Or the week prior, I think when they played week before, and just completely kind of like dud game. They just didn't play very well. So
the Vikings, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was the Vikings. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those games. It's like, but I think the Bengals got it. They looked really good last week.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Okay, your last lock.
Yeah, same thing. Rams are coming off of 3 straight losses. You know what I mean? And what better to right the ship than against the Jaguars? You know what I mean? So -13 is kind of a big spread, but I think they can get this one done.
Yeah, I know, man. Like, I'm kind of with you. I like to avoid these big spreads, right?
Right.
But I almost took this one as well, only because the Rams season is spiraling. They've lost 3 games in a row. They really need to get back on track game. They're
Yep.
playing at home. If they're going to make a statement, it's going to be in this game. I do expect them to run up the score. So,
Me too. And it's like in their defense, I think their losses have all come from playoff title contender type teams. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
but at the same time, they are a good enough team, and they made so many adjustments to the roster. It's like you want to see them play a little bit better than that and get some of those victories. You know, so I think they kind of take a little bit of frustration on a bad Jaguars team. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I feel you. Bobby with a couple comments on here. He said 10 is a big number. Watch Streets, they'll play you and only win by 9. He said he wants the Bengals to beat the Chargers, but the Chargers always look good after a loss. Or sorry, a Chargers loss is always a good loss. I agree with that, especially, but being in his division, not my own. And then also he says Rams need that for sure. So
Yeah.
That's what's up, though. But I'm liking your locks. I'm feeling like those are some big spreads, but I think you got it kind of pinned in. So that's what's up.
Yeah.
We'll see how those do, and we'll move over to mine real quick. Oh man, okay. I'm almost not comfortable with this game. San Francisco, 3.5-point favorites over the Seahawks. Like we talked about, you have to kind of go with the flow and go with the tide of how things are going. Historically, Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson have never had a season this bad, and the only thing that makes me uncomfortable is they're losing. They can't score points. One of these games, I expect them to get back on track if they ever are. But I think that this is really, truly the end of this Seattle Seahawks era. I think that the 49ers are playing really well, and they're scoring a lot of points.
Yeah.
So I'm going with the Niners, but this is one of those where it's like if I was to look at like legacy and results over a long period of time, I would never really take this bet. But in this year's snapshot, I got to go with the 49ers in this one. So
I agree with you. This Seahawks team, Legion of Boom, all that stuff, it's long gone and forgotten. You know what I mean? Like, they don't even have the same identity they used to have before. So I agree with you. I'd take this one too. I actually looked at this one as one of my possible locks.
Yeah. I know, and it's funny, though. We try not to overlap too much, so we do a good job about that spreading out.
For sure.
All right. Next up, I got the Patriots-Bills. So this one is another tough one, man. I really don't know who's going to win this game, but I think it's going to be extremely close. I like the Patriots to win only because I feel like they're going to bounce back. And looking at the Bills' results, every time they've gone up against a tough defense, they've struggled, including even the Jaguars' defense, which is not the best defense, but they play hard and they play physical. I think that's what the Patriots are going to do. I think Bill Belichick is ready for this matchup. I think the Patriots are going to win it, so I'm definitely taking them with that 3-point cushion. I could be definitely wrong, but I will say that this is the game of the week for me as far as the best matchup. So,
oh man, me too. I can't wait for this matchup, honestly. And you're what? We talked about this on Tuesday because we talked about it towards the end of the show, and we kind of picked who we got. And I chose the Bills, but dude, when I tell you this game could go either way because of Bill Belichick, it's really gonna depend on the Bills' defense and how they handle Mac Jones. Man, if they can put him under some duress, he might have some issues because he's playing well, but he's still not to me he's not my rookie of the year offensively. You know what I'm saying? But he's not making those same mistakes he was making in the beginning of the year. He's playing like a pro. He looks great. I think the Patriots really legit have their quarterback of the future, their successor to Tom Brady, if you will, you know what I mean? But it's gonna be a good one, man. The Patriots have really put up points these last couple of weeks too. I think they scored over 30 every week for the last 3-4 weeks. So they're looking really good.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one, but maybe a little risky, but we'll see. All right, my last one, Washington football team playing against the Raiders. They are traveling to Vegas. Hopefully they don't get too distracted by anything going on, staying up late, these type of things. But I like the Washington football team to win this game. I like the way that they've been playing. The Raiders are coming off of a big victory against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, but honestly, I'm really not feeling them. There was a lot of circumstances that went their way early so that they could build momentum, and then some other unfortunate circumstances that went their way late to help them seal that game.
Exactly.
I think in a straight up match, like Washington is almost as talented across the board, and they're just better coached. They're just playing more consistent.
Right.
So I'm going
Defense
with
looks really,
Washington
really
football
good.
team. Yeah, I'm going with
Defense
them
is,
with the 2.5 points. I think that might save me. So
bro, I'm with you on that. Washington's played really well. They beat some teams that nobody thought they were going to beat, and you know what I'm saying. And that includes the Buccaneers and the Panthers. I think we all were looks like, no, Panthers should write this, and this should be a good win for them. But no, man, they beat both of them down, and their offense looks good, which is crazy, kind of scary.
right,
You know what I mean? Like we talked about them being one of the top defense at the beginning of the year, and they struggled defensively. But the last couple of weeks, they've right that ship, and now the offense is backing them. Like I'm with you on this. It's about that time Raiders are kind of falling apart. Happens every year, you know what I'm saying? And Washington's trying to look good, you know what I'm saying? I know you don't hope they win in a sense because it's in your same division as your boys, but
right.
they're good, man. They're looking good.
Yeah, no, I think they are. All right. Bobby has a couple comments about my locks. He says Seahawks look like trash. He thinks I'm good with that pick. He says Bills Patriots is a tough pick. He can't bet that game, but maybe go Bills if he had to. And yeah, that is a tough one. Just like that's another thing I guess with sports betting is like don't be afraid to just shy away from a game. Like if you're not feeling it, I do that a lot. I'm like if I'm not feeling it, I'm just stepping away. And then also he says he's loving the picks against the AFC West. Let's go Washington football team. So yeah, I'm sure. All right, so Strizzy and I are locked in. Those are our 3 locks for the week. Each of us, we will see how we do, see if I gain some ground, see if I fall behind. But that being said, we're going to go ahead and make our picks for the entire week 13 schedule. So let's jump into it right now. Tonight, we got the Cowboys and the Saints. I'm sorry, Bobby. I can't do it any longer. I got to break this out because it is game day for my boys. It's America's team right now. I'm going Dallas Cowboys 100%. They got to right the ship. They got to get it back together. The Saints are a solid team. They play well at home when the crowd is going, but Cowboys, you got to win this game. You got to do it. I'm going Cowboys. Who you got?
I love it, man. I agree, dude. The Cowboys have to win this game. I know they're going to New Orleans, but I can't name not one starting receiver or running back on the Saints right now. And I think Taysom Hill's taking over, but she's not, in my opinion, a true quarterback. So it's like Cowboys have to win this game. Like they cannot let this one slip. They gotta do everything right and just they gotta win. They should win this game for sure. I'm going Cowboys too.
Yeah. All right. I'm with you. I love it. All right, moving on to Sunday morning. First game up, we got Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Atlanta Falcons.
Tampa Bay for sure. I think they're definitely trying to get back on track. They won these last couple games. And Atlanta's still just garbo.
Yeah, I feel you. Tampa Bay for sure. Arizona at Chicago.
I don't think I've gotten the confirmation that Kyle is back yet, but he has had a lot of time to recover. I think Hop's had a lot of time to recover. Hopefully, they're just coming back from the bye week. But I think Arizona wins this game. I think they're still good enough to beat Chicago.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that the Cardinals should win as well, but I don't know why I keep leaning towards I'm feeling like this might be an upset week, only because it's early morning. It's in Chicago, man. The monsters of the Midway. The Bears defense is still kind of nasty, and the weather might be nasty.
I was gonna say it's gonna be a little chilly out there.
But I'm still going with the Cardinals. I just think it'll be closer than we think. Let me catch up real quick. Bobby said, let me put this one up there. Bobby said, if it wasn't game day for you, I'll be demanding to put that jersey back on. and Bobby, I knew you would feel it. I knew you would understand. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to do what I had to do, but I'm like, this is game day too. So I can't be, messing up my own team's mojo too much. You know what I'm saying? So I had to break it out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate your understanding. He's got the Cowboys, he's got Tampa Bay, and he's got the Cardinals. So he's with us so far. Cool. Next up, the Los Angeles Chargers at the Cincinnati Bengals. I know this was your lock for the Bengals. And I'm with you. I think that the Bengals are going to win this one as well.
Yeah, for sure.
The Chargers are just too inconsistent, and it sucks because I liked Anthony Lynn as their coach in previous years, and I feel like they kind of blamed him for this same stuff, like not winning the games they should, not being consistent week to week. The same things are happening now after they fired him, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on over there, but they have a lot of talent. They just don't put it together.
Right.
So got to go Cincy with this one. Bobby's with us as well on that one. Minnesota Vikings at Detroit Lions. Is this the week that the Lions get their first win?
I don't think so, unfortunately, man. I gotta look at the remainder of their schedule because I feel like they gotta get one, but like I don't think this is it. I feel like the quarterback plays too bad. They just lost our boy for the I think the remainder of the season. The running back, so DeAndre Swift, and
Yeah.
so that's a huge blow because he's actually been playing so well this year. And Minnesota they're still the same team, but I feel like offensively they're gonna be too much for Detroit.
I agree. I want to pick the Detroit Lions, but it's going to be the Vikings. And like you said, though, Swift, even though the Lions have been bad, he's been killing it for my fantasy team because he's always putting up stats. He's basically the only one that produces for them. Him and Hawkinson.
Yeah, for sure.
But this won't be the week. It might not actually happen this year. We'll see. But I'm going with Minnesota as well. Next up, New York Giants at Miami Dolphins.
I'm taking your boys, man. I think Miami got this. For some reason, people just ain't catching on to this cover zero defense, but the defense is playing well in general. So New York is a bad team. Like this isn't one. I don't think this is one of the teams going to get. I think Miami turns up. He gets dub.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm going with the Dolphins, especially at home. Like you said, the defense is playing well.
Yep.
They played well pretty consistently. Now Tua had a big game last week, and that was really surprising, but also encouraging.
Sure.
We'll see if they can continue that. And if you look at the Dolphins closely, man, they have a pretty good record.
Yeah.
And they were two at least games that they probably should have won, including that Jaguars game in London. So,
for sure.
They're a solid team. And I'm excited to see them start to perform. So I'm going with the Dolphins for sure.
Yeah.
Next up, the Eagles at the New York Jets, kind of like an Upper East Side matchup.
I know, right? I'm taking Philly in this one. They played poorly last week against New York. Probably should have won that game, honestly, in my opinion. And I think they want to get back to what has made them successful the last couple of weeks and getting that ground game going. So something New York's not been able to stop this year so far. I think they're one of the worst teams in the league at run defense. So I think Philly rolls.
Yeah, I agree. I think Philadelphia is going to get it done. It's weird to see these kind of teams though, where it's like green and white versus green and white. It's like gang green versus gang green and stuff. It's kind of weird. It's like a battle of the ugly jerseys. But I'm going with the Eagles. I do think that they'll bounce back on this one. As Bobby said, he's going with the Eagles as well.
Yeah,
and yeah, they're just better than what they showed last week. And the Jets kind of overperformed against Houston. I feel like they'll come back down to earth a little bit.
Right.
So, all right, last matchup of the morning. We've got the Colts at the Texans. You already picked the Colts with your lock in a big win. I'm going with the Colts as well. The Texans just don't have enough.
Nah.
And the Colts showed out too, by the way. I can't lie. Like they played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers really well.
Exactly.
They could have probably won that game had things gone a little bit differently. So
yeah.
All right, let's move into the afternoon. And let's look at first the Washington football team at the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm taking Washington. Who do you got in this one?
Same. I'm with every point you made when you threw your lockdown. I'm with Washington as well.
All right, that's what's up. Next up, Jacksonville at Los Angeles Rams. You already picked the Rams in this one. I'm going with the Rams as well. I think that Jacksonville really needs to look out. I'm sorry for them that they happen to come up on the schedule right now, but it's kind of perfect timing for the Rams. I think that they'll roll. Baltimore at Pittsburgh.
I'm taking the Ravens. I think Lamar really wants to change the type of game that he had last week. 4 interceptions is not acceptable. I think he knows that. So I'm looking for him to have a really, really big game. I might actually take some prop bets on Lamar for this game just because I think he's going to show out.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going with Baltimore as well. Pittsburgh just looks bad.
Yeah.
I mean, they just look rough. I still love Mike Tomlin. I still believe in him to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So I do think that at the end of the year, it won't look as terrible as it's been. But I mean, come on, like, nah. With Ravens.
Yeah, they don't look good.
And Bobby says Ravens because I don't know what the Steelers are still.
You ain't wrong.
They're the steel workers, man. It's supposed to be the steel workers. It's like a hard hat city, you know what I'm saying? Like a union city. So that's where that came from. All right. And also Bobby was with us on the last ones, Washington and the Rams as well. Yeah. This is crazy. I don't want to jinx it, so I'll just wait. I'll save my comment for a second. Let's just keep going. San Francisco 49ers at Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I got Seattle too. They've been playing a lot better than the Seattle Seahawks. I'm with you in the sense that you did say that, you're waiting. One of these games, like, it's still Russell Wilson at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, So, but I think San Francisco is just playing better team football right now.
Yeah, for sure. And they're well coached, man. So I
Yeah.
like San Francisco. And shout out to Debo Samuel, man. He does whatever he needs to do, and he's on the fantasy squad too. So he's definitely hooking that up. Sunday night football. This should be a really good matchup. You got the Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs. Who you got?
Oh, I got Denver. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm messing with you, Bobby. You know, I got KC on this one. Kansas City for sure. They should. Well, the way they've been playing, you know what I'm saying, they completely 180 for the first half of the season. So I think they win this one easy.
I think so too. I don't know about easy, only because I feel like Denver is they're a sneaky solid team.
Their defense is solid.
Their defense is pretty good. So I think that they might give Kansas City problems, but probably just for the first half. You know,
right.
In all seriousness, though, the Chiefs, they're going to win this game. They got to win this game, and they're basically reestablished themselves inside their division and in the AFC race. So I think this is a big, important win for them. I do see them getting it. So
for sure.
All right. Last game to rely on or to relay here. Monday Night Football, like we talked about before, we got the Patriots at the Bills. I'm going with the Patriots in a little bit of an upset. Who do you got in this one, though, Strizzy?
Yeah, man, I got the Bills in this one. I think, like we talked about on Tuesday, I don't think they want to give up the division yet. You know what I mean? Like they just got it back. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's been Patriots football for years. You know what I mean? So, and they're at home. To me, it's a must win for them. It's a must win for them. You know what I mean? So I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I do think it's going to be so close. Bobby is going with the Bills as well. Yeah. So that's what my comment was going to be, though, is like out of all these games, I think that's the only one we're differing on so far. Yeah. Even out of the three of us, with Bobby included, I think that's the only one where I'm just going a little bit left with the Patriots.
I'm like Bills ? It's like Bills?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
it's kind of like because they've had the tendency to not show up for a couple of games this year. I don't see them not showing up for this game at home. It's so important.
Yeah.
So
but I know what you mean, though. If anybody can scheme for somebody, it's going to be Bill Belichick. So like they got to be ready for everything, man.
True. All right. So that's what that is, man. We're locked in. We made our picks. We got the buys: Cleveland, Green Bay, Tennessee, and Carolina. And I feel like I could be wrong, but I feel like this might be the last of the buys.
I think so.
I think that, yeah, okay. I think for the rest of the year, the last 14, 15, 16, 17, the last like 5 weeks, I think it's full-blown football. So full schedules, lots of stuff to bet on, lots of bags to secure. So that's what it is. But yeah, we did it. Let me go ahead and go full screen one more time so we can just do a little bit of sign-offs. I do want to say I appreciate everybody for tuning in, whether you're watching now or later. Don't be afraid to like. Don't be afraid to comment. Don't be afraid to subscribe to our channel. We do this every Thursday as far as making NFL picks during the regular season. And every Tuesday we have our big show where we go for an hour long, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, where we talk about all sports and just kind of the hot topics and be silly and all that. So like I said, we appreciate y'all being here. And looking forward to a good weekend of football. Besides NFL, it's really big for me is the Georgia-Alabama game this weekend. I'm so excited for that. And then having this Cowboys game tonight, it's like awesome. Like, man, honestly, it's like my weekend starts right now. So,
for real.
So I know I'm excited. And I do want to say, Bobby, I appreciate you having the gentleman's bet with me, and I'm glad that we can get that taken care of. We'll probably post something to our social media page so that can kind of live forever, unfortunately. And next time, I'm going to get you back. So,
so you know,
we're going to find something to kind of even the score here. But that's what it is. Strizzy, you have any disclaimers or anything you want to mention for the weekend before we sign off?
Nothing much, man. Make sure you guys get your pick and picks in. Make sure so you get that stuff in before the Dallas game tonight. Everybody, but other than that, no, man, let's get it. I think that's what's up.
That's what's up. All right, cool. Well, that is Secure the Bag Week 13. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy.
Peace.